A quick recap for those who didn't watch. In the ancient times of 2018, I was bribed to go on a summer sleepaway camp for a copy of Super Smash Bros. Luckily, my brother and 4 friends came along, until one of them was supposedly sick and dipped. When I arrived, I realized the camp was run by cops. The cabins, or should I say the worn-down factories, were not the best. The bathrooms were even worse. I had a bad first day and thought all of this was just a dream as I was falling asleep. But nope. The next few days we raced German Shepherds, learned secret cop techniques, and ate a sandwich. On day 4, we almost got on a helicopter but couldn't due to the high wind speeds. The cops decided we should all go to the pool. As I was entering, I saw a few friends yelling at each other while my brother was coughing. Got it? Alright, let's begin. My brother swam back to my friends. They drew in closer, trying to intimidate the kid. I had no idea what was happening. I was worried for my brother. He was coughing and looked genuinely scared. What did he do? Was it a misunderstanding? My friends began pushing the kid away, telling him to leave, but he didn't say a word. He just glared at them while slowly swimming off. Now, where were the cops at the moment? Well, let's just say that they had some issues to deal with. I asked what happened. Apparently my brother was just swimming, minding his business until the kid from behind just pushed him down to the water. Obviously, since my brother didn't know what was going on, he started panicking, trying to push his way back up, but every time he did, the kid would just push him back down. My friends noticed and they came out to help him. I assume the kid just thought he was playing around, but you can't just go to someone you don't know and just push them underwater. Maybe it would have been okay if they were friends, but like, we don't even know the man. Most of the other campers were pretty chill, but honestly, there are some kids who just seem to be really troubled. There's this one camper who was the oldest within the age range, so you would think he would be the most reasonable and the most mature out of the group. Yeah, no. This guy, Jason, he was a menace. Being the oldest, he was also the strongest and tallest among us. Honestly, I'm pretty sure that man had to go back to his 9-to-5 job afterwards. But he made sure to use his advantage early on, influencing a group of younger kids to follow him around like his personal goons. I never understood why they listened to him. He would mess with them the most than anyone else. He'd whip kids with his towel, pull pranks constantly, and once, he even yanked down another kid's pants. I can't even imagine the embarrassment and humiliation that kid must have felt. He'd get in trouble for his behavior, but it just never seemed to stop him. He just kept doing the same things over and over and over again. So you can bet I made sure to be as far away as I can. As we got changed, we had to be ready for our next set of activities. We had to be split by our color groups again. I had to say bye to my brother and my friends, and went off to play. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm absolute buns in basketball. You would not catch me in the courts. I was looking around to see the competition. Luckily, 2 of my friends were there, so maybe we could be in the group.
Alright, we're gonna split you into 2 teams. But first, I'll pick the captains.
My eyes snap open. Say what now? I glance over to see who he picked. Jason and Manny.
To tell the teams apart, we'll do shirts versus no shirts.
Not only do I have to try not to embarrass myself in the game, but now I might have to take off my shirt in front of everyone. They began choosing teams. I was nervous. I don't want to be the last one picked, but I also don't want to be picked in the shirtless team. Actually, I don't even want to. You. Jason points at me. Luckily, since I was taller than most of the kids here, he probably just thought I was better, which I'm not. Eventually, the teams were picked after one kid said he was sick and he couldn't play. Yeah, likely story. So Coach Cop walks up to Manny's team and says,
Alright, you guys take your shirts off.
I let off a huge sigh of relief. Unfortunately, one of my friends got the rough end of the stick. The alarm goes off and Cop Coach throws the ball. I was nervous. I was playing on the defense while Jason and his team were on the offense. As much as I don't like Jason, he was destroying the courts. I mean, obviously, since the man's pretty much a decade older. However, one of the opponents was able to swiftly take the ball. He starts making his way over to the other side of the court. I get ready. I stance myself as he draws. He runs up and with all of his strength, he jumps and... Well, that was pretty easy. So yeah, it wasn't that bad. Most of the kids were just too small, or just Jason came in and just bashed him. So we won by a landslide and concluded our basketball game. Now, I didn't do much when it came to basketball. I was like literally a wall. You could replace me and nothing much would change. However, that would not be the same when it came to As we ate breakfast, the counselors were announcing the activities for the day. However, something caught my attention. Baseball, huh? I've never really played baseball before, but I've played kickball, and that's always fun. I was genuinely excited. I couldn't wait. When we arrived at the field, I was amazed. It was surprisingly big, tucked away in a part of the camp I've never seen before. Completely surrounded by the woods, we dropped our stuff and started organizing our teams. As I looked around, I was thinking about how fast could I run between the bases, wondering how many I could realistically make it to. I went back to my team where Coach Kopp was giving us the game plan. We were the first ones to go up, so he decided we should have the heavy hitters come in first. And whenever we would switch sides, the fastest in the back and the slower ones in the front. He showed us the stance and how we should be hitting the ball. The whistle blows and we get into position.
Play ball!
We started off strong, scoring 2 points. I even managed to hit the ball. Actually, I was able to hit it decently well, but something felt off. But I didn't think too much of it. The next kid in our team gets ready. The pitcher throws the ball and he misses. Initially surprised by the miss, he sets himself ready and swings again. But this time it was too early and another strike. Unfortunately, he gets his third strike as well, and there we lose our first out. It's okay. We still have 2 more. Shelby gets ready and swings hard. And there goes the ball. He starts running. We cheer and yell out his name. An easy point, we thought. Until one of the opponent catches the ball. Oh, there goes our second now. Well, at least we have the
Strike 3, you're out!
Yeah, we kind of lost our steam, but it is our turn to be on the defense. Now, we did not go as well as we hoped we did. They also received 2 points as well, and things started getting intense. But, to make a long story short, we were even the entire time. We kept switching back and forth until it was our last chance to strike. It was 4-4, and we just received our first out. Luckily, we had our heavy hitters swinging at the moment. He gets ready, eyeing the ball, making sure he doesn't lose focus. The pitcher, who was one of the cops, locks in and throws the ball fast. He misses. He shakes his head and prepares himself again. The cop throws the ball and the batter comes in and boom goes the ball. He sets himself on first base. He's playing it safe. The next guy comes up and just like the previous batter, he hits it hard enough to go to the first base. And the previous batter on the second base. Our next teammate goes up. I was up next. I just need to hit it and go to first base. I can play it safe. We have 2 dudes who are about to run up to third and second base. And even if they get me out, we still have 1 more. Strike 3, you're out. They caught the ball and he was immediately out. I couldn't believe it. I breathed in and walked up. It's okay. I haven't received a strike this whole time. I just need to hit the ball. Strike 1. I shake my head. Come on now, focus. Don't think about it. I set myself into position. But once again, something feels off. Something doesn't feel right. The cop suddenly locks in and throws the ball and I miss. My heart beats faster. The stares of my team as I'm on my second strike. I think, what could be wrong? I know I can do it. It's not hard. I just need to. I look down and I see 2 boxes. Throughout the game, I always wondered why there were 2 boxes. But we only use 1. Then, I suddenly realized what it was used for. But I turned around for clarification. Hey coach, so I'm actually left-handed. Should I be using the other box? Cop coach couldn't believe what he heard.
You should be in the other box. Also, if you're left-handed, you need to change your hand position.
With his approval, I switched to the other side. Suddenly, I feel a huge wave of confidence. This does feel much better. The pitcher cop sets himself. He moves his arms back and throws it. And with all of my focus, I swing, and the ball swings with so much power that hits the cup in the face and goes far. I stand there shocked about what just happened, but then I hear my coach say,
What are you doing? Go run! Don't worry, he'll be fine. Run!
I run as fast as I can. I see my other teammates have already reached the home base. I was able to send myself to second base, but it was game. We won. We won. We showered and got ready for dinner. We talked about how the game went. My friends didn't believe that I hit a cop until he came over and said, "Good job." After our dinner, the counselor said we were going to make a campfire and talk about scary stories. I honestly can't remember much, but what I do know is the story that one of them experienced.
Before this was a camp, this used to be a place for training. One day during their training, they received a notification about a man in the streets who stole a car and was out on the run. They believed the incident was not too far from where they are, so they quickly gathered their gear and formed search teams. Instructors divided them into pairs, each taking different routes through the wooded area surrounding the training facility. They moved carefully, listening for any sounds that seemed out of place. After 20 minutes, they heard the distant sound of branches snapping and heavy breathing coming from a ravine below. They radioed their position and slowly made their way down the slope. When they got close, they saw... You hear that?
We all looked around and then jumped out. One of them was dressed as Michael Myers chasing the kids. I forgot to mention, but it was Friday the 13th. It was fun running around, but Jason, like always, was goofing off and made one of the kids cry. He crossed the line for the counselors, and they told him to come. I don't know what happened to him, because we didn't see him for the rest of the night. I settled in, thinking about tomorrow. I realistically only have one day left. I close my eyes, and can only think about... As I wake up to the sunshine, I look around. It's oddly peaceful. Jason isn't around. I change and get ready. I look around for my friends and brother. There we sit and talk about how it's almost time to go home. As we were talking, I noticed someone. Jason? He was wearing counselor clothing. He's a counselor now? Apparently he was very remorseful and said sorry. He said he would change and do better. And it's honestly very wholesome to see him treating the students better. Still playing pranks, but nothing too harmful. Today was a swimming episode because we went to a water park trip and then we went down a water park slide and it was all enjoyable. But the highlight was the lake. We had free time and they invited us to go onto the boat. Now my brother and I were chilling at first, but they really wanted us to go. He just wanted to fish. I didn't end up going. I don't remember why, but my brother did end up going. And you wanna know what they did? They put him behind the back of the boat. He was already scared enough to go onto the boat, but nah, let's put him in the back. Let's just say that he was pretty frightened afterwards. At least he was able to fish in peace. I was glad he was finally in his chill environment. I know he might have had some incidents, but I'm glad he seems content. He's honestly braver than I am. I didn't end up going to the boat, but he did. Throughout this whole camp, I was nervous for him because he was off in his own color team and none of our friends was with him. We will be split from each other for most of the day and only see each other for lunch, breakfast, and dinner. It's never something I really had to go through, but I can see my younger brother growing more independent. I take a seat and watch the sun set. In my head, I can only think, wow, tomorrow really is. But before I can talk about the last day, I need to note something. Jason got in trouble again. He got in a scuffle and he got in a fight when we were out. Because there are stories that I didn't mention. But if you want to know more and want to hear some more extra bonus story or content, be sure to let me know and subscribe. With that being said, let's go to the final day. On the final day, they announced awards to people. Everyone celebrated and cheered for them. They announced the most improved, the best swimmer, etc. They eventually talked about the best athlete. I wasn't really focused since I thought it was kind of crap that Jason won most improved even though he didn't learn anything. I also never win awards or, really put myself out there. But to my surprise, I was chosen for the award. I couldn't believe it. Barely did anything in basketball. They sent off their final speech to all of us and we packed up. I look back to how it was on the very first day. I was homesick, I was a wreck. But now I've gotten used to living here. But it is finally over. We head inside to the bus and drive off. When we arrive in the parking lot, we ran and said hi to our family. We said goodbye to our friends and drove to the store. I was then reminded of the deal I made. There I saw the Switch in all of its glory. I almost forgot that's the reason why I went to the camp. As I held the console, I honestly thought, I should have just gone without making any deal. So you know what I did? I put the Switch to the scanner. What do you think? I'm just gonna ruin my chance of getting a Switch? No. And like I said before, I didn't mention all of the stories. I didn't even talk about our roller skating trip or our water park trips or what happened in the winter. So if you want to know more, let me know. With one final note, if any of you are going to camp next year, please just try to be open-minded. Don't be afraid to be out of your comfort zone. Everything will be okay.